Hi guys, welcome to the Music B&B. I'm 315 and today we're going to be doing a discography dive into an artist called MLV EMOS. I will put that up there, I could be pronouncing it wrong. You know I like to pronounce things wrong all the time. So if we dive into MLV EMOS's discography, there are two things of note. Mainly active between 2021 and 2022. Released 2 albums, one called No More Tears, Nowhere's Land, and the other in 2022 called The Follow Dreams. Some of the songs on the albums are also released as singles or EPs. So I'm going to start with the singles and the EPs first, talk about the songs that stood out to me, and then I'll go through the albums. So MLV EMOS's first single was called The Prayer. Very melodic, sort of metalcore-esque, kind of atmospheric vibes. And this is what we start to see throughout MLV's discography, is this sort of almost power metal, maybe dragon slaying-esque kind of vibe. That's what we see first in The Prayer, which is a single, which then does appear on his first album called One More Tears, or Nowhere's Land. The next on the singles and EPs list is called The Death's Tower. Very cool artwork. It starts off with this gripping introduction called The Silence, with a really nice sort of breakdown. Reminds me of the computer game Metal, maybe like a lighter version of like maybe Doom, kind of those kind of video games that show that have that kind of video game metal going on, into the sort of atmospheric Homeless on track 2. And then we get really nice solos and harmonies that comes in The Fall of Souls. Hopeless is a bit of a lull, bit calmer, but then The Death's Tower does come in crushing at the end with some beautiful breakdowns, and I'm a sucker for breakdowns. So I would recommend from the EP The Silence, track 1, the intro, or The Death's Tower. Third single of 2021 is called Prophecy, and it starts off with an almost old school metal kind of riff, very kind of power metal, going into a nice calm break towards the end and then back into that crushing riff. Completely different after that is something called The Whole Bang feat Heavy Hooks, which is a trap hip hop track featuring heavy hooks. Completely different vibe and completely unexpected and out of the ordinary in the discography, and this is what it sounds like. Bit of a funny one to kind of start by showing you guys off, because you'll be surprised by the other music. It's hard though. That's sub bass. 808 holding it down. Done with the words. I'm about action, baby. Done with the words. To believe. Heavy hook sounds a little bit quiet in this. I would have wanted a bit more like emphasis and punch, a bit darker. Would have been nice to include some of the MLV EMOS solos that we hear throughout this discography to kind of show that collaboration a bit more clearly. Because there's a clear style from MLV EMOS that we're not hearing in this song. Good song, good trap song. Rapping's a little quiet. Could have a bit more energy. Overall, okay. And the final single released in 2021 was Suki. MLV EMOS released this, and this is more in the style of MLV EMOS. So this is what you hear when you think this artist. Really calm vibes. Nice sort of delayed, reverberated guitars. Great use of space. Quite a long intro, but now I'm expecting something. It's very relaxing. If I wasn't actively listening to the song, I'd probably be like, yeah, this is really, really nice. Kind of go unnoticed in a calm way, but actively listening to it, sitting down, forcing yourself to listen to it, I'm waiting, I'm anticipating something needs to come in. We've got vocals, okay. Kind of odd. Unusual vocals. ahs and oohs, but in a sort of creepy kind of way. Potentially could do a bit of pitch correcting. Nice to have some vocals though, something human to listen to. That always keeps an average listener, you know, their ears prick up when they hear human vocals. Something to hook to, something to listen to. Solos are good. This is more MLV EMOS, this is the style that we hear a lot throughout the discography. We now move on to the two albums that MLV EMOS has put out so far. The first one, One More Tears, Nowhere's Land, is a sort of combination of some of the previous singles that MLV had released and also some new ones. It features a lot of ambient, sort of slow, melodic metalcore with driving solos. Almost kind of like computer game-esque background music is what I would describe this album as. It features singles and it's combined together to make an album with some new songs as well. Highlight for me on the album was Carry Anymore, so we're going to listen to that and react to it. Sucker for that Parkway Drive kind of sound, kind of going off to fight dragons kind of sound. With that acoustic guitar. And the building of layers, we got piano coming in. Kind of need that Parkway Drive singer's coming now. The last night of my dreams, where the hope vanished without a trace. That's what you need. And then coming with the screams. It feels like it needs it. Also does have kind of the Eyes of a Traitor kind of vibes, an old band. They released 2 albums. Very good albums, actually. The Eyes of a Traitor, go and check them out if you haven't. Again, I'm feeling this has gone on too long for someone who's actively forcing themselves to listen to it. We need the breakdowns, we need the melodic solos to come in earlier. Either that or some vocals to keep the listener hooked. New elements throughout. Get that ear candy in. That's so important from a production standard. Ear candy is so important because it keeps even things that repeat fresh. Oh, now we've got some kind of breakdown stuff going on. Could have come earlier. Sounds heavy, sounds deep. Bum, 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 bum. A lot of MLV's songs follow this structure of a sort of extended intro, calm intro, with some kind of breakdownish parts and then a melodic solo. The formula's kind of there. What could be done to break the formula? Then MLV EMOS's second album, released in 2022, is a metal album. Very similar in terms of style compared to the previous album. To me, not too much different from what had been heard before. So listening to these 2 albums kind of near each other within a space of time didn't give much to imagination in terms of something new and exciting and out of the box. A highlight though is a song called Blue Stars. This is what it sounds like. And again, we're hearing that structure again, the slow, kind of soft electric, sometimes acoustic intro. Again, as you can see, we're 2 minutes in. Has built some layers, but similar song structures. Now, add a singer on top of all of this, a vocalist, and you've just elevated all of this music to the next level. Maybe you get a realistic drum sounding, I wouldn't say get a realistic drummer, but you can get realistic drum software that sounds a bit more realistic than what's being used here. Got the solo. Again, that similar kind of style throughout. And another song is called The Cloud, which I actually enjoyed because you can hear it's a different song structure. Hits quite hard. Sucker for a breakdown. I'm sucker for a chug. Iron Maiden kind of vibes here. Yeah! Riding the cavalry into battle. Oh, the double bass going, see. It's kind of missing from some of the songs is just a beat. A beat too late. Kept for waiting too long, whereas this is just kicking in. This is hitting. Hear Bruce Dickinson singing over this, couldn't it? Or Partway Drive song. It kind of feels a bit like some of the Trivium songs around Shogun era. Yes. I'd say out the whole discography, The Cloud is a highlight for me. Love that. Pause. Pauses in music so crucial. Getting the artist, can't speak. Getting the listeners to listen to your music by giving them silence. Great technique. Always works. Yeah, something can be done about that bass drum and getting some more realistic drum software. You just tell it's programmed drums. Not that there's anything wrong with programmed drums, but you can get more realistic ones. And violins at the end to smooth it all out. So, what would I recommend? I would recommend listening to MLV EMOS while playing a game like Oblivion, World of Warcraft, or some kind of medieval type game. It sounds like the perfect music that you could have on in the background and just chill to. It's that kind of PC gaming metal core, and that's nice. Now, I've said it during my reactions. Get a singer on this. You're completely changing this from just some standard kind of melodic metalcore into a full-blown band. That can be easy to outsource. If this is a solo project, outsource that to somebody. Maybe try it with one single or two. On the whole, MLV EMOS's discography is very similar in style, and sometimes that works to great effect, and sometimes that can get a bit monotonous. When things were changed up was when there was a trap song, but it seemed very out of character and out of blue. Whereas if there was more of that interchangeability of styles throughout the discography, it would make a lot more sense to have a trap song there. Not that there was anything wrong with the trap song, it just didn't work. We're surrounded by this pool, if you will, of melodic metalcore background music. So what's next for MLV EMOS? I would suggest get a singer, get some nice sounding drums, potentially switch up styles more often, change up the formula, keep doing what you're doing. The solos, the metal, the passion within that metal, you can hear it is there and it sounds incredible, and there will be people out there dying to sing on top of those tracks, I tell you. So keep doing what you're doing. It was a really interesting experience to listen to this music and take it in, and I hope that some of these tips that I've given are taken on board, and I hope that the community, if you're making songs, you seen some ideas or taken some tips from me, or taken some things to do and not do when creating music as an independent artist. Okay, goodbye, I guess.